If you're learning a new language, then you should know that there are 6 villains who are out to get you. 6 evil villains who will stop at nothing to stop you ever becoming fluent in your new language. And in this video, you're going to meet one of these 6 villains. You're going to meet who they are, what they want from you, and most importantly, how to stop them in their tracks and vanquish them forever. So pay attention. Your language learning success depends on it. My name is Olly Richards, creator of the Story Learning Method. And if you are new to this villain series, then you should go back to the beginning and watch it from the start. It'll make much more sense. Now, legend has it that this particular villain is thousands of years old as language itself. And his name is the grammar villain. You're familiar with this creature, I have no doubt about it. I know it from the emails I receive from students or the exasperated comments on Instagram. You know who he is. Now, I can see his work at play there. And have you ever asked yourself, grammar, all this grammar, so many damn conjugations, the verb tenses all sound the same. I need to learn every last bit of this grammar before I can even think about starting to speak with someone. Do these feelings sound familiar? Of course they do. This kind of panic over grammar is everywhere. But it's not your fault. This is the doing of one particular villain who I think has caused more misery and suffering than any other. And he is, of course, the grammar villain. He's the one who will remind you of every grammar rule that you haven't quite mastered yet. He's the one who will make you sit up late at night doing grammar drills until you master the past tense or the subjunctive or whatever you may be learning right now. He's the one when you're trying to speak your new language with someone who will whisper in your ear about all the grammar that you're getting badly wrong so that your confidence falls off a cliff. Now remember, the grammar villain's goal is to stop you ever learning your new language. And his tactics are devastating and highly effective. That's why the grammar villain has become one of the most evil villains of all. But how does he get away with it? Well, he knows that grammar in any language follows Parkinsons Law. And Parkinsons Law states that the size of the task will expand to fill the time available. In other words, there's always going to be more grammar to learn. And you're never going to master all of it. And it's this fact that makes the grammar villain so damn effective, because he can always get to you and always remind you of this particular grammar that you haven't quite learned or mastered yet. He can convince you how important it is. He'll say, how dare you speak this language when you haven't mastered the present perfect yet? You know, what will people think of you if you make a grammar mistake? Well, what can you do about him? Here's his dirty little secret. The grammar villain's job is made so much easier thanks to traditional language classes. If you took a flick through your average language textbook, then chances are the entire textbook is organized around grammar, different grammar points. You learn one piece of grammar after the next, one chapter after another. No wonder you think that grammar is so important. That's all you get in your language classes. So you need to free yourself from this spell, this grammar spell. You need to follow a method which doesn't constantly bombard you with grammar. You should follow what's known as an input-based method, where you get to learn grammar naturally. And this is what the story learning method is based on. With a method that's based on input, you spend your time doing what? Reading and listening to the language. So rather than focusing on studying the so-called rules of grammar, instead, you just focus on reading. And you just look out for and notice the grammar that comes up in the stuff that you're reading. Because if you do this enough, you gradually get to see how grammar works naturally, just like how native speakers learn the grammar of their own language. Think about it, children don't learn grammar from rules. They learn it naturally by listening to stories and reading books. And so when you stop worrying so much about the grammar rules, the grammar villain literally loses his teeth. He loses all his power because he can't hoodwink you into believing that you should be spending all your time learning grammar rules anymore, because you know there is a better way. You know that studying grammar doesn't matter as much as he wants you to think it does, and that you can talk and communicate perfectly well with actually less grammar than you think. Learning a language involves so much more than just the rules. So free yourself from the shackles of the grammar villain and keep your eyes firmly focused on the big picture. Spend your time reading stories, immersing yourself in the language, and the grammar villain will be banished back to where he belongs. Now, have you met the grammar villain before? Has he got to you in the past? Leave me a comment below and tell me what happened to you. Then please like this video and subscribe to this channel if you want more like this.